Hey everyone, greetings Clark County lings. Rob Anderson here, Reform Clark County. Just want to give you an update. As you probably know, we're about a week away from the big hearing. For my election complaint. Let me just kind of recap for those that might not know. In 2022, there was an election in November. Joe Kent and Don Benton called for recounts. Joe Kent's campaign called for a recount, machine recount of their undervotes, which was about 2,400 votes here in Clark County. And then Don Benton did a more selective recount, manual recount of about, I think it was about 10, 12 precincts of about 9,000. So altogether, about 11,000 ballots were evaluated, either machine recount or hand recount. And they found ballot errors. They found ballot errors in the equivalent of about 1 in 732 ballots weren't counted. Weren't counted, my friends. This is a big problem. And so I filed a HAVA complaint. The Secretary of State, handed it off to the Deputy Secretary of State, Randy Bullerjack, who quickly dismissed my complaint. He dismissed all complaints. There was, I think, about 5 or 6 total in the state of Washington, and they were all dismissed. But mine was most interesting because Mr. Bullerjack actually fabricated evidence stating that my complaint did not contain my phone number, wasn't notarized, which would have disqualified my complaint not only locally from a Washington Administrative Code perspective, but also from a federal perspective, because it's a federal requirements in HAVA that they must be signed, sworn, and notarized. So he was trying to get, he was trying to make a big case of how mine was disqualified, but he made up those facts, and I called him on it, and he still dismissed it, saying because I didn't send a courtesy copy to the county auditor, which I didn't, because the state form that I was using that has the Secretary of State logo on it did not tell me to, did not call me to. It was very specific what I needed to do, but it left that out conveniently. I think it's intentional that the state puts out a defective form. Anyways, so he dismissed it wrongfully. It was open for judicial review, which is like an appeal that goes through the court system. I filed in the Superior Court of Clark County, and here we are. We're coming up to August 9th, 1:30, so it is 1 week away exactly. 1:30 on August 9th in Clark County Courthouse, 3rd floor, Department 1. And this is going to be a really important hearing. I do believe that even though my case is really strong, that Mr. Bullerjack handled this in a very arbitrary and capricious manner, meaning that there's a real big disconnect between the facts and his decision, and also that he is supposed to properly consider all of the facts and circumstances of the case. And he didn't. It's just so clear. He fabricated things. He didn't consider that my complaint was on a state provided form that was clearly deficient, and he denied me of constitutional rights by violating the supremacy clause, because the federal law should trump Washington Administrative Code. And so he acted in a very arbitrary and capricious manner in this. I think my case is super strong. However, I'm quite aware that judges don't advance their career by kicking, the state in the gut, so to speak, in ruling against them. So I realize that there's great pressure on this judge to, be favorable towards the state, because the state, the governor, is the one that hands out, juicy judicial roles like appellate court and whatnot. But I need you there. I need people to be respectful. I need, there won't be any opportunity for you to give comment. It will just be a show of force, a show of that, we're listening, we're watching. And so I really need people to be there. The courtroom packs out probably 50, 70 people. I really need people to be there so the eyeballs are on this Judge Ritzinis, so that she knows that we're watching. And the people by the way, the Superior Court is an elected position. Now, she was appointed by Inslee, but she will be on the ballot someday. And so we need to let her know that, hey, we're here. We're not just, not paying attention to these things. So anyways, just want to give you an update that, I've got my oral arguments already, all 7-8 pages, trying to memorize, trying to, sharpen the legal argument. I'm not a lawyer. I've had to do all the research. I've conducted a lot of research. I've consulted legal, and it's very difficult to get legal, to hire an attorney, because election issues are so radioactive with the judiciary right now. We're seeing it on a national level with what's happening to Trump and, all the other cases, election. I mean, Carrie Lake had a great case, right? And the Bar Association still tried to go after her attorneys. And that's what they've been doing to try to, discourage attorneys from getting involved, that they'll ruin them professionally. So it's been very difficult, even though I have a great case and I've reached out to a lot of different attorneys statewide, Freedom Foundation, Silent Majority, We the Govern, quite a few notable attorneys, and couldn't really get, them on board. And a lot of it's because of election cases are toxic, and so that's why the people need to be there, and the people we need to pack out the courtroom, again, respectfully, no outbursts, no comments, but just eyeballs, looking at Judge Ritzinis, saying, hey, we're here, we're paying attention, and we want justice. And the arbitrary, capricious dismissal, which is so clear. I mean, Mr. Bullerjack just fabricated, information. I have the agency record here, which, by the way, I think is pretty humorous that it was sent to me, and it's double. It's it's on both sides of the page that they sent it to me. But yet, I'm sure that's going to be one of their reasons, one of their excuses of saying how they missed it, was that it was double-sided. But you can see here from the form that I filled out that it has the state logo right here. Let's see, man. You see that says Secretary of State. That's the form that I used. And, my phone number. Can you see it right? Oh, I probably shouldn't show you my phone number. My phone number is right there. And, they said that it wasn't. And then on the back, get this, here's the notary. And, that was one of the issues that, this statement that Mr. Bullerjack sent out, the reason why he dismissed it is just completely false. And, that's the issue. In fact, what he said here is, after careful review, I'm dismissing your complaint This complaint does not comply with WAC, which is Washington Administration Code. That's Penny in the background, by the way. She's giving her opinion. Because it is not sworn under oath or notarized, does not include your phone number, and is not accompanied by proof of mailing, delivery, or a copy to the respondent, Clark County Auditor Greg Kimsey. Now, normally, you know, giving notice to the other side or whatever respondent's really important, but in this, it was simply a courtesy copy, so there was no harm. It's super disproportionate that he did this, that he dismissed it. It's basically saying, well, you didn't check a box, or you know, you didn't literally send a piece of paper that there was no action needed, required, or that Greg Kimsey could take at that point. It was mainly courtesy copy, you know, just informed. So anyways, there we go. I won't go much further on this, but just wanted to give you an update and really ask you please to come a week from today, August 9th, Clark County Courthouse, 3rd floor, Department 1. And we need as many people there as possible to be engaged on this. It's super important. So thank you so much. See you soon.